welcome back. I'm Rachel Ray, and it is a game day. It's a baseball game day, so I'm making my own ballpark food. Now, one of the things that's synonymous with ballparks is caramel peanut popcorn mix, right? So I took a big box of it, broke it up using a little skillet, or you could use a meat mallet, put it in a food storage bag with some chopped nuts, mash it up all together. Now I'm going to save the extra of this to make more baseballs. That's what I call these ice cream treats that I have here. I don't make up a ton of extra baseballs and keep them in the freezer because this stuff gets mushy. My nice crunchy popcorn loses its crunch. So if you make them nice and fresh, you put them back in the freezer, they can set up for a few minutes, and the popcorn stays nice and crunchy and delicious. I used vanilla ice cream, rolled it around, and look, it looks just like the size of a baseball. Really cool, right? I also have hot dogs chopped up and cooking up right here on the stove because they are going to go in my macaroni and cheese dog casserole. Awesome. This is so good. But these are brown, so let me get this in the freezer quickly so we can get the hot dogs out and start building a cheddar cheese sauce. The inspiration for this dish was a cheese dog with onions on top. So I'm going to make a sauce with good old cheddar cheese. I'm going to get some onions going on in it. Oh, I forgot my butter. Hang on. Let me get the butter. The butter's what I needed actually first, but I got so excited telling you about the cheese, I got the cheese instead. Never mind. Back at the ranch, we're going to get our hot dogs out. You get a plate and some paper towels. Get your dogs out. That's one package of dogs, all chopped up, nice and crunchy and beautifully brown all over. Put the pan back on the stove. Now add a little bit of butter. Now, we make a thickening agent called roux with butter and flour, right? So we're going to melt up a couple of hunks of the butter. And then later, after the onions cook up in the butter, we'll sprinkle in some flour, and that'll become our thickening agent for the sauce. Now let's talk about ballpark food I really like. Most creative ballpark food out in Comiskey Park, they got a guy with a sombrero who has frozen margaritas and tanks on his back, and he goes up and down in the stands giving you frozen margaritas right at your seat. Crazy. They also have corn on the cob there that you can scrape off the cob and pick your different toppings. The guy takes the whole ear out of a vat, a big steam table, and then he scrapes it off into a cup, and then you top it with all different kinds of crazy flavorings, lime juice and chili powders and all kinds of stuff. You can't imagine. That's very cool and delicious. They have fried bread dough there too. Oh, so good. This onion and me are not good friends today. Skin's giving me a rough time. Anyway, when you make your own ballpark food at home, certainly it's a lot more affordable. And I just think it's a good time. You have your friends over, you can laugh, everybody can cook and help pull the party together. They can bring some food that they think says ballpark food. It's just a better time, and it's certainly a lot more affordable, that's for sure. Okay, I got my onions working in there. Let's season them up a little salt and pepper action. My water's boiling away there, so let's go ahead and get our macaroni going. You can use any shape you like. I got good old classic elbows today. Take the opportunity to season the water with lots of salt. It's the only chance you get to season the pasta itself. Regulation elbows going in. All right, let's give them a stir so they don't just stick to the bottom there. Pretty good shape here. We're doing, oh, look at this. I left my extra ice cream out. I better put that back in the freezer. Don't want that to go to waste. Okay. Back over here, let's get to work on our cheddar cheese. Now, the cheddar cheese you can also buy right in a sack, ready to use. Couple of cups for each sack. When the cheese goes on sale, though, and it's got a great price, I buy it in a brick because it's such an enormous difference in price and savings. Now, I said my inspiration for this was just a cheese dog. So I'm using nice, mellow, yellow cheddar cheese. But, if you are a little more adventurous with your palate, you could use a nice, sharp, white cheddar, extra aged. You could use provolone or Gruyere, or you could use a smoked cheese like a smoked Gouda or a smoked cheddar. Be excellent. My good old box grater here. This is about as close as I'm getting to exercise and to actually watch baseball. It's the cooking part. Although I do love to play baseball. I go to batting cages and I have a pitch back for my yard up at the cabin. I'll go out there at the end of the day and throw some pitchers. Okay. I'm making pretty quick work here. I need a couple of cups of cheese. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm just going to get the cheese ready to go into the sauce. And I'll meet you right back here for some serious ballpark food. Hey, welcome back. I'm working on some killer ballpark food for nights you're going to sit in front of the tube and watch a big game. I'm a huge Red Sox fan, and I'm about to marry a huge Yankee fan. So not only do we watch these games, but it gets pretty heated. You need some food to keep your strength up. Okay, I got 3 cups of cheddar cheese shredded up over the break here. You know how I know it's 3 cups? I make little pitcher's mounds out of my grated cheese, and I say that's about a cup, that's about a cup, that's about a cup. Call it a day. I don't measure anything, you know that. Now over here, I got my hot dogs browned up because I'm making my hot dog casserole, which is basically macaroni and cheese with a bunch of hot dog condiments in it. Delicious, with the hot dogs all mixed up in there with the macaroni. Yummy. I got elbow macaroni cooking up. I want to undercook that. We're going to drain it in just a minute here. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Now I got 1 onion cooking up in 2 tablespoons or so of butter. And now I'm adding in a couple of rounded spoonfuls of flour. I'm doing that so we can make a roux, a little thickening agent. Now you have to let this cook together for a good minute or so that it doesn't taste like raw flour in your sauce, and so that you're developing that into a great little thickening agent and not just a bunch of lumpy flour-like pieces in your sauce. So you gotta let that hang for a bit. You don't want it to brown though, not like when you're making gumbo or anything. It can be a very light roux, so it just needs a minute. Let's drain our pasta. Now you want to undercook this even a little bit less than al dente or with a bite to it, because it's going to sit in the cheddar cheese sauce and it'll continue carry over cooking. So I'm going to drain that off, give it a good shake. You know what? Here's a good tip. I'll just throw it right back in the pot I cooked it in, and it can slow drain while I'm moving forward. This is looking ready. Let's get some liquids going. Now, hey, if it's a ballpark dinner, you got to use some beer, right? All right, we're going to put a little beer in our sauce. It's our secret ingredient. Shh, don't tell nobody. And I'm going to put in some spicy brown mustard because I like that on my hot dogs. A couple of squirts of ketchup. Instead of using a little tomato paste in my cheddar sauce, going to add some ketchup because they go so good on hot dogs. And I'm going to get some milk. A couple of cups of milk. We all know how to make mac and cheddar, right? All right, let's get our beer open. Now, what you do with the leftover beer, I just don't know. You'll have to come up with something. I don't know. Maybe drink it. It's just something about ballpark food. It's the only time I drink beer, really. Not a huge beer drinker. I like a nice wine with dinner. But with ballpark food, oh, yeah, it's good. Now, I'm eyeballing it. I'm just going to put in about a half a cup. Grab my whisk. Here we go. Get that working in there and let it almost cook off entirely. Adds a nice tangy background to the sauce. It's awesome. Hit it with a couple of cups of milk now. Man, that smells good. Of course, the alcohol cooks out and the flavor concentrates, so start with a good bottle of beer because the taste will get even better and stronger. Now, this is a quart-sized container here, so I'm going to use about half a quart. Crank the heat up a bit to bring it up to a quick bubble for us. Now let's season it up with some ketchup and mustard. How cool is this sauce, huh? Sounds delish, right? Oh, I'm going to add a little more salt and pepper, too, because I just put a pinch on the onions. So a little salt and pepper in our sauce. Awesome. Couple of squirts of ketchup. Let's call that a couple of rounded tablespoons. Couple of squirts. And now a big rounded spoonful of the mustard. Where's my spoon? I'll just use this spoon right here. No sense turning another one. Nice big rounded tablespoonful of the spicy brown mustard. Yum-o. See, it's already up to a bubble. Mix in all that good flavor. It's going to taste like a cheese dog with the works, my friends. Excellent. Oh, my gravy. That looks so good. Okay, it's about to get better. Couple of cups of cheese. Save 1 mound of cheese to go on top of our casserole so it browns up on top. Because we're kind of faking out our macaroni and cheese here. Normally it's slow baked in the oven, right? We're throwing this one together on the stovetop, and then we're just melting a little cheese down over the top. At this point, I'm going to trade my whisk for my spatula and just stir that cheese in so it gets all nice and melty. Excellent. Let's let that work for a second. We'll grab our casserole. Put put that over here. Let's slide our dogs back in. One whole package of hot dogs. Which, incidentally, what is the conspiracy between the hot dog people and the bun people that they can't get that together and make them in the same numbers? I'm done with the buns. I'm going to keep making my hot dogs this way and mixing them with pasta in protest until they get the bun thing together and they can agree on one number. Okay, mixing that in. Now I'm going to add my elbows in here carefully. Cool. Stir it right up from the bottom. Get everything combined really well. How good does that look? Oh, my gravy. You are not finding this at any concession stand in a ballpark, let me tell you. You are going to be famous for this. You make this for your buddies. This is going to take away almost all of the fun and excitement from watching baseball, although I happen to think that would be impossible to do. Okay. Here we go. This is going to be a tricky little transfer here. Let me grab this so I make it as safe and smooth as possible. Nice. That wasn't too bad at all, actually. Let's get our extra cheese on top. We saved one last pitcher's mound here to break up and brown up all over the top of this. Oh my gosh. I'm just beside myself. That looks so delicious. Okay. Under the broiler we go to get this good and golden and gooey. Is this going to be a big hit with the kids or what? Huge. Pop this guy in there carefully. And now I'm going to grab some caramel sauce because I made baseballs for dessert. Ice cream rolled around and crushed up caramel popcorn mix. Now I'm going to drizzle a little extra warm caramel sauce down over the top. Now the important thing is these often have metal lids. So I'm just going to pop it right in the jar in the microwave so it heats up. But remember to remove the lid first. Got to take one last quick break. Come on back. It's almost game time, guys. Hey, welcome back. I'm Rachel Ray, and it's almost game time, so I have got some brilliant ballpark food. Look at this baby. Is this beautiful or what? This is a hot dog and cheddar cheese and macaroni casserole. Look at that ooey gooey deliciousness. How smart was this one, huh? Man, I'm telling you, this one is a winner, at least for me. I'm a huge baseball fan, and I'm a huge fan of food. And this is good food. Check this out. We got some hot dogs in there browned up. We got some cheese sauce that has ketchup and mustard and beer right in the cheese sauce. We got the macaroni. Remember to undercook it because it's going to keep on cooking when you pop it under the broiler. And then we melted the beautiful cheese down over the top. I'm sorry, I got to do it. Had to steal just one bite. Killer dessert, too. In the freezer, I got my baseballs. Check these babies out. Crushed up caramel peanut popcorn. You put it in a food storage bag. You just give it a couple of whacks with a pan, or you can use a meat mallet. You can even crush it up with your hands. Kids love to help out with these. Then you roll any flavor ice cream you like. I like good old traditional vanilla ice cream. Rolled it around in my crushed up popcorn mix. It looks just like a baseball, doesn't it? Put that into my ice cream dish. Now it's perfectly good just like this. Or you can do the deluxe version. Check it out. I put my caramel sauce into the microwave. Remember to take off those metal lids first, guys. That's to get it nice and drizzly. Caramel sauce down over it, or you could certainly use chocolate syrup. That would be delicious too. Nice. And it goes so great with the popcorn, of course, right? Then we're going to hit it with some whipped cream. I used to be a fountain girl, so I love playing with whipped cream. And then we're going to put a little maraschino red cherry on top, right? Nice. You're not getting that in the ballpark. And then check this out. Bats. Yeah, you get some long cookies and they look like little bats, right? How cute is that? Put a couple of little bats back here. Set it in place alongside our delicious dinner. And check it out. We've got a double header going on. Is this a great meal or what? Of course, you can watch it if you're not a baseball fan, but I can't imagine anybody not liking baseball. It's the world's greatest game, and my team, the Red Sox, we're the greatest team. Yay, go guys. Did you see us with the series? Okay, I'll stop rubbing it in. Thanks for watching. I'm Rachel Ray. Remember, a great meal, it's never more than 30 minutes away. Play ball and eat up.